If I like something, you're gonna know it. If I don't like something, you're gonna know it as well. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a review and first impressions on Teckwrap Craft vinyl. So they were nice enough to send me a package. So they sent me all of these HTVs right here to try out. And then they also sent me some accessories and a cutting mat. So I'm going to be trying out all of these in today's video and I'm going to let you know my thoughts. So even though they were nice enough to send me all of this, I'm going to always keep it real with you. So you can expect this review to be 100% honest. So just throwing that out there. So Teckwrap is fairly new to me. The only thing that I've ever tried from them is their holographic permanent vinyl. So all this other stuff I've never tried before. They did send over 9 different HTVs. And from these 9, there's 4 different finishes. And 3 of the finishes I have never worked with before. It's like my first time. So you're going to see me trying them out for the first time on camera. And let me just say, things got interesting. And I almost forgot to mention pricing, and I feel like the pricing on these are actually really good. So the glitter chameleon and the colorful splash are $10 for 5 feet. So the glitter and the chameleon are 12 inches by 5 feet, and then the colorful splash is 10 inches by 5 feet. So if you break it down, for a 12 by 12 sheet on these, it's $2. That's cheap, dude, because on glitter, the average for a 12 by 12 sheet is like over $3. So that's actually a really good deal, especially on like these finishes, because these finishes are usually more. And then this one, it's a bit smaller, but I feel like the pricing is still really good because pattern HTV tends to be way more than regular HTV anyways. So the fact that a 10 by 12 sheet is $2, dude, is really good. So these are definitely a super good price. And then the Galaxy, these are $9 for 10 inches by 5 feet. So if you break it down, that's $1.80 for a 10 by 12 inch sheet, which is really good again because it's a patterned sheet and the pattern tends to be like more expensive. So $180 for this size for like a sheet is really good. So the prices on these are definitely good. So if you're interested to see how Teckwrap vinyl worked out for me and their accessories, then let's get started. So here are the HTVs that were sent. We have 2 glitters, 3 chameleons, 2 galaxies, and then 2 colorful splashes. And then they also sent over some accessories. So they sent this strong tack cutting mat. So usually the purple ones are the ones that have like a strong grip, and these are made for like more heavy duty materials. And they also sent this squeegee. It's like in a minty color. They sent these tweezers that come in its own case, and it's like in a pink to blue gradient. And the edges are like super pointy in this one. They also sent over a pen, a super glittery and pretty pen, but it's not a regular pen, it's a weeding pen. So the edge is like super pointy, which is super cool because I've never used one of these. So we shall see how it works out. And then these 3 accessories came in this like iridescent pouch that has like their logo on it. It says Teckwrap Craft vinyl on it. So this is super cute. So now let's just dive into these HTVs and see how they look. So first up we have the glitters. This one right here is the purple, and then we have the apple green. So I believe these are like the textured glitter. There's really no way to tell until you press it onto the shirt, but I do believe these are the glitter ones. So this is like a typical purple and then like your typical green. Next up we have chameleon, and this one shifts color with like certain angles. So can you tell it's like blue and purple? So this one right here is purple charm blue. So it has a purple and blue shift to it. So depending on the way it hits the light, it changes the color. And then this one right here is the purple charm cyan blue. So this one has like the cyan to purple shift. It's kind of like a greenish, like a green blue, I would say. So green to purple. And then this one we have gold charm purple. So it has the purple shift and then the gold right there. Can you see it? So I feel like these are kind of like iridescent, but in a more subtle way. Like these aren't as intense. These have more of like a gradient color going on, as opposed to an iridescent, which is like more, I feel like colors going on. Like, can you tell right there? It's just like different colors at once, as opposed to here, if you're looking at it at a certain angle, it's just one color. And then once you like look at it from a different angle is when you start to see the different color, you know? So it's not as in your face as an iridescent, you know? So yeah. So here we have the galaxies. This one right here is the starry bright sky. And just like the name says, it's pretty much a galaxy, because when you think of space, you think of colors like this with the little stars and just splashes of different color. And this is just straight up that. So this one is like in a blue color. And then down below we have the nebula cyanine black. So this one is like more colorful. It has more pinks, blues, purples, light green, cyans. It's just more brighter in comparison to this one. So I will say, after looking at both of these, I do feel like this one is more clear when it comes to like the image. Like you see all those little stars, and this like galaxy right here is more smooth and like, I don't know how to explain it, like watercolor. Like it just blends more like cloud-like in comparison to this right here. Like these right here are more harsh and not as smooth as the ones over here. And also this image kind of looks pixelated. Like you see certain lines in certain sections. Like unless you're really paying attention, it doesn't really matter, but just wanted to mention that there's little lines. And it's just a bit more pixelated and not as clear as this one right here. Like this one is just straight up like HD, and this one is not as much, but maybe that was like the look of it. So last up we have the colorful splashes. This one is in the color Soda, and this one is in the color Ocean. So these are pretty much like watercolor colors like put together. You see kind of like clouds, watercolor just like blending together. So the name fits perfectly. It pretty much is a colorful splash. You're like splashing color and it's kind of like blending together. So that's exactly what it is. And I almost forgot to mention that what I like about these pattern HTVs is that you don't need a mask for it. Like the carrier sheet is attached to it. That's why I've stood away from like using pattern HTV before, because it's kind of intense having to use a mask with it. I really don't know how to use that. So I'm glad that I don't have to use a mask with these, because it's pretty much like any other HTV, you know, you just cut it regularly from the back and stuff. So that's definitely a plus. So now that we've talked about how each of these HTVs look, I'm going to move on to the design. And for this design, I wanted to use one HTV from each category just so I could try them all out at once and see how they work. So from the glitters, I'm going to use the purple one. From the chameleons, I'm going to use the purple charm blue. From the galaxy, you guessed it, I'm going to use the nebula cyanine black. And then from the colorful splash, I'm going to use ocean. So these are the four that I'm going to use. So let's get into my design. So this is the design that I'm going to use. I'm going for a layered look. So for this one right here, I'm going to use the chameleon. For this one, I'm going to use the colorful splash. For this one, I'm going to use the purple glitter. And last but not least, for this one, I'm going to use the galaxy one. So now let's just send all of these to cut. So for all of these, I'm going to use the Strong Tack cutting mat since they did send it over. I'm really not used to working with strong grip mats. Like, oh, see, it's not even as bad. I thought it was going to be like really on there, like really stuck, you know, but it's not. So that's good. Like I was saying, I usually just stick to the standard grip mats. I really don't ever use like the light grip mats or like the stronger ones. I just stick to what I know, which is the green one. But yeah, it's nice to know that I have another mat to use, you know. So this one isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I just thought it was gonna be like super sticky, you know. I'm glad it's not. That's a good thing. So starting off with the chameleon, let's just go ahead and put it. And then I like to use my brayer just to get everything on there. Okay, so my little bubbles aren't going down. That's kind of an issue, because you want your HTV to be smooth. So am I gonna have to lift it? I spoke too soon. It is strong. Can you see those little bubbles that it left from where the bubbles were? Oh my god, that's kind of weird. I've never seen that happen. And then like the lines that it leaves. What? I've never seen that. But let's smooth it out. Hopefully no bubbles. Okay, no bubbles. There's a little bubble there, but it's all good. Yeah, there's some bubbles there too, but we're just gonna leave them because I'm not trying to lift it. So here it is after it's been cut. Let's see how hard it is to remove. Yeah, definitely not easy. Damn, you really have to pull with this one. Now for the sake of the video, I'm gonna do each of them on camera. So here we have the glitter. Okay, see, this one right off the bat does not have any bubbles in it, which is a good thing. So the bubbles on this one was actually smoothed out, and then the chameleon one, it wasn't. There's a bubble right there. See, this one smooths out easily. But I will say, not sure if you can tell, but this HTV, can you see it? I'm trying to get it to hit the light. It has some like lines right there. Not sure if that's gonna make a huge difference when it comes to you pressing it, but just so I wanted to mention that there's some lines right there, and this section is like smooth. Yeah, and the lines start here and like go all the way. Kind of stops right there. Okay, this one for sure is super easy. Look at that. No sticking or anything. Next up, we have Galaxy. This one seems fine as well too. This one you can't even tell that there's bubbles. So something about that Chameleon just made it stand out more. Maybe because the backing is like black and it just stands out. But like with this one, you can't even tell. Alright, this one is hard too. There you go. Definitely did not feel as hard as the Chameleon one, but it was still hard. And then we have Colorful Splash. I feel like this one is going to be the exact same thing as the Galaxy because they're practically the same. Not too bad. Some bubbles. This one is kind of like harder to tell if there's bubbles or not. Okay, there's straight up bubbles there, but the brayer doesn't push them down. Do you hear that? So I'm going to have to lift it and then just do it. See, it's so funny how it leaves like the bubbles that it created. There you have it. No bubbles. I feel like this one's gonna be the same as the Galaxy. Yeah. Or maybe it's faster. You know what? I think this one's faster than the Galaxy. So overall, I don't think the cutting mat is bad at all. Just my personal preference, I prefer to use the standard grip because it's not as sticky, and this one seems to stick even more. Like with the glitter, this one was super easy. You like peel it off and it's not that bad. But this one I would just stick to using like heavier duty materials like leather and things like that. So for this one, I wouldn't use it for HTV again. Like at least like the regular HTV, I wouldn't. But overall, it's still a really good mat. It's always good to have options, you know, because if you cut a lot of materials, then like you go through these really fast and like they get dirty and stuff. So it's good to have options, you know. So this one definitely not bad at all. So now time to weed, and for the weeding, I'm gonna use this pen that Teckwrap provided. And I just wanted to show you like the difference in edge to the Cricut one that I normally use. Like, could you see the difference? The pointy, how this one is super tiny and pointy and this one is a little bit thicker. So we'll see if there's a difference. And this one also is at an angle. So I'm not used to it being just straightforward like this one in comparison to this one that's like at an angle, you know. So we shall see. So it's gonna be my first time trying out a weeding pen. So let's get started. So let's see how they weed. So starting off with the Chameleon. Damn, this is so different. What the hell? You know what? I'm not gonna use my cutting mat because I'm just gonna poke right through it. So let's take it off. So let's start. So it's not like lifting. Was it my cuts? Is it the weeding pen or what is going on? Let me try with this one. Okay, so the texture on this Chameleon feels like something I don't know, it's just not weeding the same as other HTVs that I use. I don't know if it's this, that it's too thin that it doesn't want to grab onto it, but you kind of have to like hit it in the edge to like really get in there. Yeah, this is not even as easy as I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, so the pen doesn't really help with the Chameleon one. I'm gonna stick to my angled one. I'm gonna try it one more time on the edge, see how that goes. It's just like scared to go in there and it just goes through like the carrier sheet. Maybe it's too pointy, you know? And it just like rips through it. Yeah, I just think it needs a thicker grip. Maybe it has to do with this HTV as well, because it's kind of like, it rips really easily when you poke through it. So that may be why that pen doesn't want to work. Damn, it's kind of hard to weed. Wow. Yeah, so this is definitely harder than what I'm usually used to. Because with regular HTV, you just peel and then that thing just takes off by itself. But this one, you kind of have to pull it even more. I have to use all my strength with this one. I'm gonna put it back here, see if it helps. Damn, it's just so hard to pull. And I mean, I'm glad it cut, like the blade on the Cricut cut through, but still, this just is taking so damn long to weed. I wish you guys could see me struggling. Oh my god. It's like really in there. Either I'm not strong enough or this is just holding on for dear life. My poor thumb hurts now, but there we have it. So this one was definitely a struggle. It took way too much time. It was hard to pull. So this one, keep that in mind. I've never worked with these chameleons, so I had no idea how they work. But yeah, this was a struggle to peel. Definitely hard. Now for the glitter one, I'm gonna attempt to use the weeding tool again. Let's see how this one goes, and I'm not doing it with the mat. Okay, see, this one is not as bad. But you just kind of have to be careful that it doesn't go through. And this is way easier than the chameleon, that's for sure. So that's a good thing. Let's just pull on it. So definitely peeling very easily. And it is a textured glitter, so I was right. I just cannot get used to this pen. It's just so weird to me that it's not at an angle. You kind of have to put it at an angle, you know? Have to be careful not to stab myself. And with glitter, it's sometimes hard to figure out where the cut lines are, so you kind of have to hit it with the light. So I think with this pen, you can't really like stab it and lift it. You kind of just have to like stab it, lift it a little bit, and then pull it out, because it's just so thin and it won't like stick to it. At least, oh yeah, I did look at least with this glitter one, but it's still kind of difficult. So there we have the glitter. This one for sure was super easy to weed in comparison to the chameleon. I just took a little bit longer because I'm not used to working with this type of like weeding pen. But yeah, definitely super easy. Everything peeled off, nothing lifted, so that's good. Next on the list, we have Nebula. So let's see how this one... See, this one's not that bad either. Oh, this one is super easy. Look at that. Just peeling right off. Wait. Oh my god, it's peeling my thing! It didn't peel right. Oh my god, do you see that? It peeled. Did I even cut it right? Oh my god, here I am thinking it peeled off fast and it wasn't even peeling right. Did I not cut it right? I used a pattern HTV for this. I needed to be more careful. So now I have to smooth it out. So, since I'm not used to working with pattern HTV, I thought it would be like the regular HTV where you just pull it. But with this one, I guess you have to be really careful or else it'll lift. Oh my god, I'm all thinking it's like smooth like butter, but no way. Yeah, so maybe don't use the pattern HTV cutting settings because it's like, it messed with me. It like cut, but maybe if you do the pattern HTV with more pressure, then you'll be fine. But this one for sure wanted to play me. Should I just lift it and flatten it? Thank God it's one big old piece. You're not supposed to touch this side of the HTV, but what can you do? I need to flatten it, you know? Alright, I think I flattened it. Yeah, I think I did. So you definitely have to be careful with these, because as you saw, I really thought it was peeling super quick and it wasn't. So definitely be careful with the pattern HTV. So now for the colorful splash. This one is a pattern HTV as well, so I have to be careful. So what happened to the Galaxy doesn't happen to this one. You know what? I'm just gonna cut this one. Pattern HTV, more pressure, see if that makes a difference. So here it is again, recut but with more pressure, so let's see if that makes a difference. Oh my god, the same thing, dude. Okay, a bit easier. It's still lifting as I pull, but definitely not as much as previously. So with this one for sure, you just have to play with the settings, the cutting settings, because like my settings weren't as precise as they should be. See, it's still lifting. So besides the fact that I probably didn't use the correct cutting settings, I do feel like it is peeling easily, but just the struggle of knowing what cut settings to use, you know? So definitely not as easy to pull as the glitter, but not as hard to pull as the chameleon. Just struggling because of the cut settings. 10 years later, but I got it. So this one for sure was a struggle for me. You saw how long it took me to weed. and like I had to get help from this little tool right here because it was just peeling off. For this one, you for sure have to play with the settings. So pattern HTV doesn't work. Pattern HTV with more pressure doesn't work either. Their little instructions right here say iron on with pressure 160. Honestly, I don't even know. I've been using Cricut, but there's certain like settings and stuff that I don't know. So that pressure 160, I have no idea where you would change that, but yeah. So first up, I'm just going to prep the shirt. So first up, we have Chameleon, and this one is at 275 degrees for 8 to 10 seconds. So I'm gonna place my Teflon sheet to protect it, and I'm just gonna tack it for a few seconds since I'm layering. So I did 3 seconds, and these are a cold peel. So I have a cooling block here to help me. So let's see. This is kind of nerve-wracking because I don't even know if cold peels can even be like just tacked on like the regular ones, so we'll see. Nope. Oh my god. I may need to press it for way longer. Nope. And this carrier sheet is like really sticking onto the shirt. I think I'm gonna need to give it its full time because this thing is not wanting to lift. Nope. You know what? I'm gonna do a few more seconds. So let's try it again. Yeah, definitely still not sticking. So I did actually check the website, and on this little paper it says 275 degrees, and then on their website it says 302 degrees. So you know what? I'm just gonna put the temperature higher and see if that helps. So I'm gonna retry it with 300 degrees. Alright, let's try it again. It's still not doing it, dude. Oh my god. Dude, it's ripping the carrier sheet. Like, do you see it? Let's try this side. So maybe don't layer with this HTV because clearly it needs to be pressed the whole time. So keep that in mind. Oh my god, I'm just on the struggle bus here, dude. You see how the O still has a carrier sheet? So those 3 have the thing on it still, so let's try and take it out. Alright, we got them all. Now let's move on to the next layer. And now we have the Galaxy pattern. So for this one, it does say 275 degrees, but I'm just gonna stick to 300 because I don't want to have to struggle again. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna do this for a few seconds as well. Usually when you layer HTVs, you only do like 1 second or 2 second tack so it adheres onto it, but since this is a cold peel, I don't really know how cold peels work. So I'm just doing like 3 seconds because you just don't know. And I don't want to peel it right away because what if it like lifts, you know? So that's why I'm trying to cool it down with this. I'm not familiar with patterned HTV, so this is nerve-wracking. So let's see. Alright, so far not that bad. Not bad. Alright, definitely way easier than the Chameleon. This one actually stuck. Like, it doesn't feel like it's fully on there, but it tacked on really well. Next on the list, we have the glitter, and this one is for 320 degrees. So that's what I switched my Easy Press to, just in case, you know. So let's see how this one is. And for this one, I'm gonna do another tack. And this one, once again, it's a cold peel. The carrier sheet. Ah! Damn it, if I would have known, I would have cut it. Ah! Damn. So I think I'm gonna have to cut the other one. This is what happens when you try things for the first time on camera. Oh my god. So it's a little hard, but nothing too different than the usual. So this carrier sheet, it has little glitters, and then like the glitters are now officially on the Nebula HTV, but that's what I get for layering. Oh my god. And it has like texture on it. We'll see what happens once we continue to press. So there's no way I'm gonna do it like this because of the carrier sheet, so I'm just gonna cut it. But maybe the problem wasn't even the carrier sheet itself, it was that the carrier sheet had like the glitter and stuff, you know, so that's what the issue was, I think. So we're gonna do this, and this is a colorful splash HTV. So the guide for this one says 275 degrees, but I don't want to have the same issues as like these other ones, so I'm just gonna stick with 300 and just finish it off with that. So that one was definitely easy to peel. Now I'm just gonna go over everything for a full, like, I don't know, let's do 10 seconds. Alright, time for the big reveal. Ta-da! So my only complaint, obviously right off the bat, is the carrier sheet, what it did to me. Like, can you see? Do you see that line right there? Not a big deal, but still, what a struggle. Nothing against the pattern HTV, it's just my own fault, you know? So obviously the one I struggled with the most was the Chameleon. So I would say with the Chameleon, just stick to doing one design. Try not to really layer it because it's a struggle. It was very, very hard to peel, so keep that in mind. And then the pattern ones, honestly, these weren't even as bad. Like, they actually tacked on after a few seconds, unlike this one right here. So for these, definitely you can layer them, but be careful when it comes to the carrier sheets, because as you can see right there, the glitter did me dirty. So if you're gonna layer, try to do like a solid, don't do like a glitter because of the texture. So keep that in mind. And then the glitter one, this one was fine as well, peeled easily. So overall, at least we got the HTV onto the shirt, you know? That's all that matters. And as with all of my reviews, I like doing a wash test. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait 24 hours and then put this baby in the wash, and we'll come back to see if it actually survived. Here it is after it's been washed. So overall, there's not any major lifting, but there is some right there with the glitter. On the T, there's a little bit of lifting right there, and then on the color splash in the corner on that star. But I have realized, because I used to cut stars a lot, for some reason the edges of stars tend to lift a lot regardless of what HTV I use. But yeah, there's a little bit of lifting on that. But besides that, everything else seems to have adhered really, really well. There's like no major lifting or cracking or anything. So that's definitely a good thing. But yeah, overall, besides this little lifting with the glitter, I feel like it pretty much passed the wash test. So 2 thumbs up. So here's a closer look at the accessories. So even though I didn't use the squeegee, I mean, squeegees are pretty self-explanatory. I don't feel like you can ever go wrong with the squeegee. So I may not have used it, but I know it's gonna help me out whenever I work with vinyl and stuff, you know, so that's definitely cool. And then we have the tweezers. I didn't use these either, but look at how thin and sharp that is. Even if I don't use this for like crafting, I feel like I could get a different use out of it, you know? Like, look how sharp they are. And the color, dude, is so bomb. And this pen, the color is so bomb. Look at that. And then it's like in a rose gold color. But I will say it was kind of weird using it. I really thought like the super thin edge was gonna be like a complete game changer. But for my preference personally, I feel like I'm gonna stick to like the curved one, like the little hook like that. It's just what I'm used to. I know there's people that just prefer these pens, but for me and what I work with, like HTV, I prefer the other one. This might work with like the vinyl and the tiny little pieces, you know? Definitely not bad. It's not a waste because I'll eventually use it, I'm just not like super used to it yet, you know? And then this bag, dude, the color is so cute. So all of these are gonna go in here and they're gonna have their little place to just chill and be stored away. And there you go. So here we have the shirt once again. You did see me struggle a little bit, but hey, the shirt is done. It's ready to go. No major issues here, no major fails. So even though I did struggle a bit with some of these, I don't think these HTVs are bad at all. Like I mentioned, this was my first time trying them out. When it's your first time trying something, it's not always gonna go like completely perfect, you know? It's always a learning experience. So out of all of these, for sure, the Galaxies are like my absolute favorite. I love the design. I feel like it just brings the HTV to life. Like, look at that design. I feel like it just adds dimension. So I actually really, really like these. These were fairly easy to use. My only issue was the cutting settings, and I don't think that's like the HTV's fault. I just have to play around with it and figure out what works best, because this isn't the only HTV that happens, so you know that it doesn't cut all the way. So I'm going to continue to use these, play around with the settings, figure it out, because I think the designs on these are just really, really cool. I also really like the colorful splash ones. I feel like this design just will completely bring a design on a shirt just to life. Like, it'll give it some dimension. I don't know. I just really, really like these. So definitely check these out. I think these are really, really good. I was intimidated by pattern HTV, but like I mentioned, since these have the carrier sheet, I wasn't at all. So now I'm glad to know that pattern HTV isn't so bad at all, because these worked out, you know. So definitely recommend these right here. And now for the glitters, these definitely did not give me any issues at all. Like, they cut right, they weeded right, they pressed right. I would say the only issue was towards the end after washing them. it did lift a little bit. But then again, you never know if it's because there wasn't enough pressure since I did use an easy press. So even though this one lifted a little bit, I feel like it's still a good HTV. I'm still going to continue using it because I really like glitter HTV, and this one didn't have any major fails. I still really like these. I still think you should check them out because it's always nice to like find out different brands and how they work, you know. I wish I would have discovered these when I did like my battle of the glitter HTVs, but too late now. And now for the ones that gave me the most trouble, the Chameleon. Oh my god, and these are the ones that I was the most excited about because I had never tried anything out like this. The color was just like cool, you know? So the fact that it gave me the most trouble, I was kind of like low-key disappointed. But either way, even though it was a struggle to get there, I mean, I feel like out of all of them, it's the one that pressed the best onto the shirt because you can't feel it. So even though it was hard at times, I'm still going to continue to use these. I feel like the concept of these is really, really cool. Like, just imagine a whole design with this color. I feel like it just brings it to life, you know? It gives it a whole new look. So I really, really like the look of these. So I'm still going to use these. I'm still going to continue to work with them. I am going to try these out with like my heat press just to see if that kind of makes a difference. And I for sure will probably not use these when it comes to layering. I always make things difficult on myself and do a design that has layering just to try out all of them. So that's why I feel like I make things harder for myself instead of just doing like the same image 4 different times to try them out. I end up doing this, you know, but I'm trying to make things cute, you know, which is why I try to put them all into one. But yeah, definitely a learning curve when it comes to these chameleons, but I'm still going to use them because I feel like the concept is really, really cool. So definitely check these out. I'll have them all linked down below. They are affiliate links, and I also have a coupon code. So not only will you be getting these for cheap because they're already cheap, you can get a discount on top of that using my coupon code. It is an affiliate coupon code, so if you use it, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this review and my first impressions on the Teckwrap HTV and their accessories. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave me your thoughts in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.